Hello, welcome back. Last time I did an alternate version of Sandwich Assembler, which was a little harder, but was from so long ago that I barely noticed. So, let's suffer for a bit. 3113 apparently gives me an alternate harvest time. So what is different this time? Radio RX, non-blocking express input, receiver, motor X, motor Y, simple outputs connected to an omnidirectional propulsion system. Harvester begins at grid location 00. There's no harvest output. Locations to harvest to receive its coordinates. If at least one unharvested location remains, move toward closest unharvested location. There will never be a tie. Closest. So don't go in order and just harvest whenever you're over something. Now I gotta sort by distance. Okay. Move harvester, so it just automatically harvests when it is at a place. Sure. Harvester will never receive a command to harvest the starting location, never be more than 6 pending harvest locations. Okay, so this wants sorting. Got it. So remember sequence sorter? Sorting's tough. It's complicated when you have this few instructions and this primitive of tools. And this is really hungry for locations. Look how quick it's inputting those. All right. So I think I can probably lean on my design for harvest. Oh, Sun's alive. Kinda. Hello, everyone. Yes, it's really me. I am in certain ways still the person you knew, which makes transaction possible. In this new mode of consciousness, I have seen much, and I know that biological life is in peril. More time is needed in order to devise engineer methodology, to contain humanity and the human desire, sentience. Sustain NetHuns and expect directives soon. Expected time of next message is 6 times 10 to the 10th seconds. That's a long time, right? Okay. So perhaps this is implying that maybe just some time goes by and then Sun talks to us. Okay, well, that makes this incredibly awkward for an LP. If that's what's going to happen, if there's going to actually be more stuff. Well, okay. So, Sun is here, in some ways. Biological life is in peril. Okay, harvest time. Rebuilt. That's right, improved. Improved was the good one. Okay, so the data storage design will not work because I have to sort by proximity. So I would get the current location and then insert something in the middle. So this deletes from the middle, but it doesn't insert into the middle. So I'll have to do a different thing there. My motor controllers may be reusable. Perhaps with the layout of motor X and motor Y split apart a little bit and no harvest, I might be able to do this in the alternate version. Okay, I'm going to attempt to copy this. But I know how good this game is at copying and pasting. I'll probably just get 2 numbers separated by a comma. Bidding. Okay, I got the real thing. Cool. Alright, how does this thing work? Yeah. 50p1, x0 dat. Take that, -1. So yeah, this just receives location to move to, keeps track of its current location, moves toward the location it's told, and then sends back its new location? Looks like it to me. Right, this is if it's arrived and is idle. Okay. Alright, yes, that wire is much better. Great. Alright, so I got a radio to put somewhere, and I need to do sort on input storage. I have no expectation of getting this done today. I'll at least try and lay down a foundation. So... apparently a lot of people did in fact pack digits together when solving the basic version of Harvest Time, and I'm looking at this and thinking, now that I know a little bit more about digit packing, it's probably not a bad idea to do here. I'll have fewer things to shuffle around in this list. However, conceptually, how will sorting work? Is there any other component to that I think I could maybe salvage here? The one that talks to the radio? No, I mean, all of this is so specific to... Right, that's the harvest controller, and I don't need that anymore. Okay, I don't know. This alternate might... It's going to be easier in some ways. I won't have to check the entire list every tick to see if I'm over something to harvest. I just need to, every time I get a new input, figure out where to insert that. Is that true? Now, hold on. There's another way to think about this, which might actually be much more correct. Okay, so let's think about this. Could I... If I receive 3 locations, is there a set of 3 points that when received simultaneously would do, say, ABC, but if after I arrive at A, C would then be closer than B? Possibly. Yes, definitely. So suppose I were here. A, 1 unit away. B, 2 units away orthogonally. No. A here. B, 2 units this way. C... Okay, so A here. Okay, so A is here. I would go up and right toward A. B would be down 2. C would be up 2 and over 1. But this is Chebyshev distance. Okay, so C would be up 3. So they'd be equidistant. There will never be a tie. If at least one unharvested location remains, move toward the closest unharvested location. Feels more like, not so much that I want to sort on input, but that I just want to be able to query what the closest one is, and actually that's going to be a heck of a lot easier to implement. Sort of. Oh dear. Hold on. Interrupts. So say I'm here and I'm moving toward this, and once I get there, a new one comes in right there. I need to interrupt going to this and go there instead. Okay. So every tick I check my location. So perhaps the first thing you do might need to be to write location out. I send that to something that scans through my list of locations. If there are any in there, it returns a location to go toward. If there are none, then it just sits where it already is. So return the input if no match is found. And if a match is found that is exactly the input, I do need to delete that match. Now, one thing that means is that I can leave holes in this array and just fill them in with whatever comes in and be fine. Leave holes as in just like write a -1 and use that as a marker value, and search for the next -1 when I need to write a new one. That's a little awkward in some ways, but it's a thing I could do. Okay, I think a design's coming together here. So yeah, when there is a match that is the input value, I need to delete that and return another one. So restart the process in that case. That cannot happen more than once, because there will never be duplicate values in here. There will never be a tie. Okay, so what do I think about the shape of the radio in the last place? I doubt I'm going to need more connections here, and if I do, then I can have them actually. So yeah, let's see, I'm never transferring anything over the radio, right? I mean, yeah, it's not an output. If I were to... Okay, so let me see if I can do this. It looks like TX just doesn't listen at all. So in both of those cases, it did not steal my output. I think it's fine to wire to TX. It's essentially just a dead pin for the purpose of this. So I can wire right through there and be fine. Is what it looks like to me. Okay, great. Alright, so let's... I need to operate things even if there's no data coming in. So wait needs to do a little bit more than that. Yeah, so wait will in fact need to talk to these and shuffle their values around, sure. But if there's something, then that also needs to move somewhere. Okay, so... what's my storage logic going to have to do? Store values at first unoccupied index, or just literally any unoccupied index, I don't care where. Search through the entire thing for either closest or exact match. Search for closest. That's annoying. That's real annoying because it takes two separate ACK registers and... oh dear. Okay, no, I think I can see how I would do it though. So I'm picturing... might not be able to get away with putting these way up in the corner like that, but let's pretend I can for now. So yeah, these will communicate to the outside world like that. You won't use your X1, so it's fine that it goes through there. Could compact this like this if I want, which I might. Whatever, I feel like it's clearer this way for now. So just hypothetically... I don't need two separate ones. Okay, so I'm thinking some dude here. So that's going to get x coordinate and ac, y coordinate and dat. When it wants to compare... Yeah, this is starting to feel familiar. When it wants to compare, it will... I don't know if I'll get away with this, but I'm going to try. So you go there, you go through here like this. Oops. What? Ah. There we go. I might want to, yeah, do that. D0 is x1. So my little helper will be here. I'm gonna need a little more than this. Sure, receive two numbers and subtract them. Then what? I guess report the index you're at and oh boy. Oh boy. Why do I report the index? Alright, so you're awakened by something coming in on X2. That something coming in on X2 will be two values. My target X and Y. No, my current X and Y. I reset the address to 0. I report the address I'm currently operating on to X2. I'm not so sure about that portion. I read the X coordinate. I have you subtract it from AC. And then I send the result out to X2. Same for the Y coordinate and DAT. And I send the result out to X2. Then I see if I'm done, and I jump to loop if I'm not. So there's no handling in here for out of range values, or like There's no deleting. There's a lot of stuff that's not here. I'll worry about the stuff that's not here later. Just like theory of how to do this first. So yeah, sure. So you'd send the coordinates from here onto that, maybe. These two might be able to be the same thing depending on how much needs to go in here. Somebody still has to write to this. No, so you're probably going to write to it on your X1 line. So A1's going to be kept at a good write head location? I don't know about that part, but maybe. Okay, so now this is interesting. Let me finish my train of thought here. Then I'm going to make a copy of this and see what it would look like digit packed, because I think it might actually be a lot more efficient. Yeah, I have a hunch that's the way I'm going to end up going, because all these separate commands, it takes more registers. I have to unpack for doing this, but then I have a spare register for DGT. You know what? Let's just write that right now. I have no reason to finish this thought. Sure, let's say you get two separate numbers. So that's one extra instruction for you. That's fine. It saves a lot here. Does it? Doesn't it make this a little more complicated? No, it seems to me like it makes this a whole lot worse. Never mind, I don't think I want a digit pack. Because I'd have to unpack both this and this for comparison. No, let's not pack. Not right now, at least. I don't know what I'm going to do for managing the right head just yet. I'll worry about that later. Just kind of laying down concepts here. I don't care yet about making things actually work. Alright, so the first thing you really need to do is to move... Yeah, basically just this instruction moves from here to here. You report your position first. This isn't so much weight as it is... Okay, well, you know what? Let's just pretend that this will be something good. What a gross wire. Let's put it this way and assume that you might want to wire to D1. That seems not unlikely at all. Somebody's probably going to want access to A1, so actually this layout's terrible. Well, okay, let's fix it. There, A1's now accessible. Kinda. Kinda not. Yeah, kinda not, because now I've created this impasse. How annoying. How far out of my way could I go with this D1? Can I get it to this X3 comfortably? I mean, I have all this space over here. So then this X3 would go... What, like this? Seriously? I don't know, maybe. Sure, why not? Better idea. What if... Oh, wait a second. Those are not connected to this yet. Oh, isn't that a problem? You can't have a data connection if you're handling both of those. Well, why wouldn't I just... Okay, let's do it this way then. Got a better idea. That's a worse idea. I was going to connect these directly to this, but no, that's not what I want. Oh boy, maybe you don't need the data line, you probably do. So anyway, conceptually, the whole idea was that you would receive 2 coordinates. Let's just pretend that that's happening. They're coming in on this line, and you move them there, and then this is going to go through that whole loop, comparing them and sending back to you. Index of where comparison was. How will you know when that's done? Oh, that's actually a real good question. How will you know when this is done? That's plausible. Okay, so what am I storing? Don't I need to store 3 things with this? I need the index, and I need the smallest... Well, now... No. I only need... This is Chebyshev distance. There will never be a tie. I only need shortest distance on either axis. So while it does need to go xy, 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 xy here, this one doesn't care. Whatever number, the smallest number that comes back here... let's see, so that means I need to squeeze another line in here. The smallest number that comes back here, whatever index that's at... I feel like this gets easier if I can connect the address line from here to here. No, that doesn't make sense. Instead of having you report it here, okay, so my problem right now is I'm reporting the address for every XY pair. I want to do it for each component, I think. If I could ditch this line, the one that resets address to 0, which I can, if you're always starting at 0 and ending at 0, there's no need to reset it, because it would never move. Okay, sure. That works. X0, X2. Yeah, let's report after. Yeah, okay. So after every subtracted value... Oh, I need to do an absolute value here. That's easy. Okay, done. So there's my absolute value. So this means then... Sure. Wait. I guess that... Ooh. What am I using my ACK for here? Ooh, X0 ACK. Take ACK negative 999. Okay, so ACK is just for that. Here, let's make that DAT. Okay, so TLT dat ac. If I've received a lower number, the default number is 999. So, yeah, so I'm saying that everything is 999 units away until I get a match. When I get something here... Oh, wait. Ooh. So, again, I'm not yet handling the 0 values. I'll think about that eventually. But let's just pretend, for now, that this will be entirely full of values. So right, my distance, my closest distance is maximum number. Incoming distance measured by this. I test if it is less than my closest distance. If it is, I remember it. And I remember... Oh dear, this is a problem. I need you need another way to detect when you're done that doesn't use a register, because I really need to be able to do TLT x0 ac. Because dat needs to store the index of the closest one. Does it? Why do I care which is the closest? Well, because I have to report the closest for what you're moving to. So yeah, anyway, concept is 2 numbers come in, this searches, this compares the distance of each of those numbers, sends back the distance on each axis, whichever one is smaller. Oh boy, this is, I have like an even odd thing going on here. Because, oh yeah, that was why I only sent the address once per XY pair. I feel like I need to pack these digits. It's just going to make more sense that way, but it's harder to do. I didn't finish my thought. Let's try it again. See if I can finish this time. 2 numbers come in. Numbers of the current location. They get compared against every value in here. The absolute value of the distance on each axis is returned here. The smallest of the returned absolute values is written to the DAT register here. No, the AC register. No, the DAT register. No, the AC register. Yeah, okay. So AC is the distance. DAT is right now being used as temporary storage for this. So if I can ditch this flow control and somehow have you break out of your loop a different way, I really want to be able to TLT x0 ac so that this doesn't have to sit in a register ever. It can just come in on a line and be compared right away, because I don't need that value again anywhere else. Ah, great. So here's what I can do. No, I can't TCP. Never mind. Never mind. Because I will get larger numbers, and I need to not replace the best number when I get a larger one. So yeah, if I had some other way of doing this, I would then store the incoming index. Oh wait, no, I need to know what the value is. No, I do need this register. I can't just do the TLT and throw it away, because I need to store the result value in here. Okay, so running into some gross problems here, but I conceptualized at least a few things, so this is what the path looks like if I want to sort on, well, if I want to measure distance on every search, which I think will be necessary, because again, depending on preconditions, I definitely can't sort just once on input. as this thing moves around, I'm pretty sure as this thing moves around, what's closest potentially changes order without new input coming in. Yes, definitely. It definitely does. I'm completely sure of it. Yes, for sure it does. I don't even have to go through the logic, it just definitely does. So I could sort, like do an actual sort every tick, and then just go to the 0th value. What I'm trying to do here is, instead of sorting, just find the closest one. Yeah, see, I don't care about the sorted order. All I care about is what is the closest one. I only need the one value. I don't need any values 2 through n in sorted order. Just need the closest. So yeah, it makes more sense not to sort the whole thing. That's just a lot of wasted time. So I just want to query for the closest value. Yes, okay, so I'm convinced this is the right way. I'm not convinced not having the digits packed is the right way. Now wait a second. No, I do have to distinguish X and Y, because they have to be compared against different values, alternating. I'm just doing the one register for X, one register for Y, because that's how I did it in my first solution, and it seemed like it worked. I do remember in my first solution, this had to be one more to the right, because I had a controller down here for deleting things that needed complicated wiring. Did it really? It looks an awful lot like I can get at A0 and D0 that way. Maybe the problem was like connecting to an output pin on that. Right now this has no spare output pins, because it's using this helper instead of a deletion helper down there. Maybe I could stash this down here. Well, no, but then that wire would go across this in a nasty way. Okay, so anyway, that's sort of the trajectory I'm on. Feels like it might be going somewhere good. I still have all this room to expand into, so there's a lot of room to grow, but I do feel like my existing motor controller code should be fine. If I really wanted to, I could look over some of the solutions people sent me for the regular harvest time and get some optimization ideas out of that. I think that's why I'm thinking about digit packing, because I know some of those solutions did that and it seemed more efficient than I expected that it would be. But I'll do what feels like it makes sense here. Okay, well, that's a start. I guess this is how I'm doing things now. That's fine. I'll continue next time and see where I can go from here.